Who wants to start?
Well, I'll actually start.
This is Jason.
Yes, I'll actually start with Patty. So my real question, Patty, is, how excited are people? I know this is a generic question, but what I really want to know is, are they excited because they think Obama's going to win? Are they excited because they're already talking about the second term? Or is it sort of a nervous anticipation? How would you describe the excitement at the Obama headquarters right now?
Jason, I thought you were going to ask something much harder than that. After all, I've given you that nickname that I'll let you tell everybody else what it is. I can tell you, it's nerd. Okay, it's not going to be a private show.
It's on national TV.
Because he knows a lot of this math down to like the county level, international, dear. I can tell you I've been all over the country, and it's not just the campaign supporters, it's all Americans. The sense that I'm getting from people is that they're really frightened. If you talk to Republicans, they're absolutely terrified of what Barack Obama would do with the second term. If you talk to Democrats, they're living in fear of what Governor Romney would do in office. Now, truthfully, if you look at what this campaign has been about, it's been very little about any sort of substance. That both of the campaigns have just put out there, I'm going to create 12 million jobs, we're going to have energy independence. Nobody's actually talked about what they're going to do, how they're going to solve the financial problems that both of the campaigns say they have to do something about. Really, if you think about what the campaign has come down to, it's about these campaign ads. And all they're doing is trying to paint the opponent as something to be afraid of. We saw that tack from President Barack Obama in his final days on the stump. And that's why he kept saying, you know me, you know what I'll do, because the campaign is purposefully trying to put that in people's heads that you can't trust Governor Romney. And all of the people I talked to, especially in Ohio, again, where the people were really feeling like they'd like this election to be over a year ago, what they were telling me is those who were going to vote for Obama were doing it because they were leaning away from Governor Romney. I think that is very telling. This is not the campaign of 2008. In many ways, Barack Obama has been running against his former self, trying to rekindle some sort of hope and change without giving any specifics. So he's a time struggle to defend his record. The campaign, though, is done. They have moved on. The president's eating dinner, by the way, right now. But while I've got you, David, I forgot to tell you what the president did that was so funny when he went to the phone bank. He picked up a coffee and he drank it. He said, "That's not my coffee." And he looked at the volunteer and he said, "You don't have a cold or anything, do you?" It's been a long road. The candidates are exhausted. They want this over with, and the last thing the president needs is a cold, because I can tell you every single member of the White House press corps has one. So maybe it's his turn.
Patty, thank you very much indeed. I'm giving up responsibility for asking sensible questions because they're being asked by other people with me here. Jennifer Lovin, it's Alan Fisher for you. Alan's in Boston.
Hi, Alan. Good to see you on this side of the camera. A lot of the talk going, as you very well know, going into these last days is about which side is bluffing. And as we both know well, campaigns like to play the confidence game and talk about what they think is going to happen and put the most positive spin on it. What's your best guess as to whether the Romney camp is bluffing about its chances, both in the ground game, in turnout, in this expand the map strategy into Pennsylvania? What's your assessment?
As far as the ground game is concerned, there's no doubt that the Republicans have sharpened up their operation. It is much better than it was 4 years ago. They knew they had to match Barack Obama's efforts of 2008. That was because they performed perhaps the best get-out-the-vote operation that America has ever seen. They were slightly hampered by the fact that it took them so long to decide on Mitt Romney as the candidate. Now, as for expanding the map, well, I think the idea of Michigan going to Mitt Romney, even though he was born there, his father was a very popular governor there, was perhaps wishful thinking. And I think even the Romney campaign knew that. They believe that they have a better chance perhaps in Pennsylvania. It's interesting here in the hall that people have been cheering the fact that Mitt Romney is now projected at 50% of the vote in Florida. You remember the Romney campaign just a week or so ago was saying that they were going to win very heavily in Florida, particularly with those voting on the day. So David Axelrod, who is Barack Obama's main political advisor, said, well, come November the 6th, we'll see who's bluffing. I think perhaps the Romney campaign may have overplayed their hand, particularly with the expand the map strategy. I think they realise they have lost Ohio. They need to get Pennsylvania. According to the latest projections we're watching on the big screen here, they're slightly ahead in Virginia, but if they're tied in Florida, they're behind in Ohio, and they can't win Pennsylvania. So it looks as if that the firewall that Barack Obama was building up in the Midwest, his route to 270, may well be protected. People here are still cheering. There's still an air of confidence, but I think there was a bigger cheer for the fact there was a projection that the Republicans may keep control of Congress than there was for any of the other projections that we saw of Mitt Romney winning what were always going to be guaranteed Republican states.
If I could ask Patty one question?
Just a quickie.
Sure. Patty, I'd love to hear what you make from inside the Obama press corps of the tear he shed last night in Des Moines. He's obviously the president not known for his overflowing emotion.
Exactly. No drama, Obama. Hey, Jennifer, good to see you again.
You too.
It's been a little while. I think truly the campaign has been focused a lot on the nostalgia of this. The president has repeatedly said, this is my last campaign, and he's tried to use that to sort of garner support. But if you think about what these campaigns have been about, what they've been through, it's been more than a year. Countless fundraisers, countless speeches. The man has been on Air Force One more than he's been anywhere else. I think, quite frankly, you just have to look at that. I think sometimes we forget that they're humans. They're tired. The press corps is exhausted. His staff can barely stand up anymore. It has been a sprint because they realized going into it, it's going to be a close one. And so I think that it was just real emotion from a president who, you're right, we don't see it. But it was funny because he wasn't saying anything all that interesting. It's his exact stump speech. Nothing was different about it, but all of a sudden you saw that tear come down his cheek and his chin started sort of quivering. So I think really it was a honest, real moment where he realized that A, he's tired, B, this is over, and really what we're waiting for is the entire country to place a verdict on his first term in office. And I just want to point out, you're hearing the president. It's not him. He's still at home waiting for the results to come in. This is a video that's playing because the crowd started to get a little bit bigger. They're going to try to keep them enthused for the many more hours that we expect we have.
Patty, thanks very much indeed. That's Patty Culhane in Chicago, Alan Fisher in Boston, and if Mr. Obama